You know, Inez was campaigning across the country for votes for women for the 19th Amendment, and she collapsed on stage out in California, right? And what were her last words? Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty?
The National Women's Party, which was the smaller organization that started later, like 1913, Alice Paul started pushing again for a federal amendment for women to get the vote. And Inez became very involved in that and really became their icon when she rode the white horse down the big suffrage parade in Washington, D.C. And she became, extremely famous for that and was on the, front pages of the newspapers. And people talked about her as the lady on the white horse. But there was much more to her than just being this, most beautiful suffragist that people called her. She also was a lawyer. She was an activist. She was active in fighting, for child labor issues, for women laborers, against the death penalty, all kinds of things. Pacifism, she went on the peace ship, and so all kinds of things.
Her father was quite a benefactor of Lewis and the surrounding area during his time. In other words, he used his money in the area as well as elsewhere. And there's a little sort of park, with picnic tables and things now called Milholland Park in Lewis. So the Milholland family was quite well known. The mountain is an important focal point in this community, and it was on her family property. But most importantly, it's because she was such a significant figure in U.S. history and in the history of Lewis and the Adirondacks that naming a mountain for her is a very big tribute.
I think she represents something that people don't think of when they think of the Adirondacks or Lewis. They think of lumberjacks, right? And woodsmen and stuff. And they don't necessarily think of social justice issues. And so Inez stands for something that we don't always think of. It's trying to get to the top of that mountain. It's going through those obstacles, right, and those hindrances. And Inez just really had a spirit to keep going. Inez is the greatest symbol we have around us here, that she stood for truth, she stood for justice, she stood for peace. So to me, it was a natural that in the climate that we're facing today, talking about Inez Milholland was the right thing to do. And I love that Inez, one of the things I remember her saying was that, I know that I have all kinds of privileges, but I would give up all my privileges to have a right. So she really wanted to help other people. And she really, for me, she really stood for truth. And I think that's very important.